everybody, my name is AFHGaming, but before we get anywhere near the video, please make sure to go and check out the Everlasting Summer fan page community to keep updated with the game and all the awesome features coming soon. Lots and lots of amazing pictures and posts, and yeah, basically the site is where all Everlasting Summer fans unite. If you have any questions, make sure to ask this young fella right here. He's so cute and sexy, but I'm not gay, of course. I'm not gay. And let's not forget to mention the beautifulest girl in the camp is Slavia, of course. Am I right or wrong? I'm sure I'm right. If I zoom in very closely, you can see both of her boobies collapse as she skips through the moonlight. And let's not forget to mention the maddest girl in the game, Elisa, who could be even part of the Illuminati, and her big boobies! Hello everybody, my name is AFHGaming and welcome back to some more Everlasting Summer Let's Play! But before I read, please make sure to go and check out the Everlasting Summer fan page community and check out the new thing that I did, which is the project. It is amazing and I'm sure you guys will love it. So, without further ado, let's just go into the game. Such a typical Russian handmade handkerchief. Glimpsing it, I instantly imagined Slavia dressed in an ancient sarafan, sitting on a bench beside a ramshackle house with a crowd of playing children running around. It's quite cute. Thanks! Let me give it to you as a gift. Such a proposal embarrassed me. You shouldn't. No, take it! I looked at the handkerchief once again and put it into my pocket. Thank you. There were so many strawberries here that after a mere half an hour, we had the basket filled up to the brim. It seems we're done. Yes. We've got a lot, so it should surely be enough. When we got back to the boat, Lena wasn't there yet. She'd need more time to fill the basket by herself. Yeah, I guess so. I looked at the river. Sun sparkles happily dancing across the water surface were the only thing that distinguished it from a mirror. That's how calm the river seemed. What are you thinking about? Nothing, really. And you? Me? What will happen once vacation is over? We'll have to leave this camp and go back to our homes. Will I ever see anyone I met here again? Will I ever see you again? She looked at me with her eyes so full of sorrow that I couldn't think of what to say. Oh, finally she's back. Lena came out of nowhere, breaking the silence. Oh, you're done already. Here. She showed us the basket full of strawberries. Great! Now we can go back. And I still had Slavia's face and those words of hers in my mind. Sadness and sorrow weren't the kinds of emotions typical of her. Could she be hiding them all the time under a mask of cheerfulness? I had no answer to this question, and I knew I couldn't find one either. Wait. Maybe later. The way back took less time as I tried to concentrate on rowing and ignoring everything else. My only wish was to get back alive, as the first trip hadn't gone without consequences, and now my hands started to hurt after only a few sweeps of the oars. Having tied up the boat, I fell to the ground with no energy left. Slavia and Lena leaned over me. You could have said something if it was hard for you. Oh, you just noticed, Slavia! Thank you for noticing! Yes, yes. Never mind, it's fine. I'll just lie here for a bit and everything will be alright. Okay then, get those baskets to Olga Dmitrievna, please. We have something else to do. Yeah, sure. I was ready to agree with anything at the moment, just so I wouldn't have to get up. Slavia put the basket full of strawberries next to me and headed to the square, happily chatting with Lena about something. The hardest part is done anyway. That's what I thought before I got up and took the baskets. After the rowing, they felt like seven bags, even while weighing barely more than a few kilograms each. So the trip to the camp leader's cabin took much longer than usual. I had to stop every 50 meters to have a rest. Wow. Once I finally made it, I put the baskets on the ground and sat on the deck chair with difficulty. Olga Dmitrievna! Olga Dmitrievna, I've got presents for you! There was no answer. I barely managed to get up and enter the cabin. There was nobody there. If you don't need them, it's up to you. I lay down on the deck chair and fell asleep. Whoa! What? Man eating strawberries! I had a weird dream about a strawberry race. I was rowing a boat with my last ounces of strength, trying to escape huge bears that were chasing me. My hands were failing me, and I could barely see anything because of the sweat covering my face. Blood was hammering in my temples, but the strawberries were getting closer. They were baring their teeth at me. But wait, strawberries with teeth? Semyon! Semyon! I woke up. Olga Dmitrievna was standing beside me, shaking my shoulder. I see you got a rich harvest, didn't you? Oh no! What am I gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna have to, yep, I tried my best, but that's saying it's me, so thanks, I mean, I should give credit to the girls as well, yeah. So, thanks to the girls' help. Woohoo! Right. I hope I did make the right choice. Anyways, okay, but that's not all. Seriously, I was just anticipating the lovely rest I was about to have. Do you even know what these strawberries are for? Not a clue. What an honest confession. We'll make a cake out of them. I see. Well, that makes sense. To honor the miraculous rescue of Shurk. And it's all thanks to you. It was clear that getting the strawberry wasn't the last thing to do. And why? Please tell me, if I'm such a hero, why do I have to organize a celebration in my name all by myself? Well, I guess. So, I have an important task for you. We are missing yeast, flour, and sugar. Need it all in the canteen before dinner. And those who will make the cake can't deal with it on their own somehow? I asked pitifully. Of course they can't! All of them are busy. And you are the only one in the whole camp who does nothing. Wow! While her words are partly true, that doesn't make it any easier for me now. Moreover, those words felt like a bullet to my head. So write it down. You'll get yeast in the infirmary, flour in the library, and sugar in the clubhouse. Wait, I have no time, I'm in a hurry. Good luck! She smiled slightly and left. Of course, there are a lot of strange things in the camp, but yeast in the infirmary? Okay, I can deal with that, but flour in the library? And sugar? No, it's way beyond my compression. I spat on the floor. I don't want to, and I will not believe this. Just tell me you're pulling my leg. I would not be surprised if a crowd of fat green trolls would appear here right now beside me, with every one of them feeling obligated to laugh at me. So maybe to hell with this cake. I weighed my option for some time. No, if such a major plan for Olga Dmitrievna fell through, I'd be in a word of her, and it would be complicate both my life in this camp and my search for answers, which I've stopped for quite a while. It seems I have no choice. Oh no, I have to make more choices, damn it. Let's get to the clubhouse, shall we? It feels like I've gone through more things today than all the previous days combined. Thus, approaching the clubhouse, I'd forgotten to think about how awkward it would be to look for sugar there. Whoa! Scientists working on a cat lady, okay. Shurk and Electronic were enthusiastically building something. They were so busy that they didn't even notice me. I looked closely. It was some kind of a robot, or at least the body of one. Moreover, the robot was female and had animal ears. I didn't want to make up theories about propose of such a device of luminous of camp cybernetics. Even though the design looked partially workable, I had any doubts about the robot ever being able to conquer Earth, or at least being able to do anything on its own. But they seemed to be enjoying the process more than the end result itself. And that was something we shared, even though I didn't want to admit it. On the other hand, they weren't afraid of possible failure, criticism, or jokes. They were working towards their goal without paying attention to others, who would call it unrealistic or even absurd. Oh, it looks like I'm truly comparing them to luminaries of the sciences. Hey guys! I greeted them uncertainly. Oh, Semyon, come in. We're always glad to see you. I was actually already inside. You know, sorry for what happened yesterday. I barely remember anything, but, well, never mind, it's okay. And what brings you to our humble abode? Electronic looked at me slyly. Sometimes I feel that he makes such a face when he knows something about the other person, something he can use in the right moment. Sugar! I need sugar! An image from the ancient video game suddenly came into my mind, where some kind of unit like a builder or something cried out with all of its 5 pixels stature, "Gold! We need more gold!" "We've got it," said Electronic calmly. "Why would you want it?" I felt that I shouldn't explain to Sherrick that they want to bake a cake for him. I shouldn't spoil the surprise. "I don't know. AFHGaming told me to get some." "Okay, hang on." Electronic disappeared behind the door in the next room. "And why do you have sugar here? Why is it not in the canteen?" "When the fruit truck came last time, it was the last thing to unload. And given that our building is the closest one to the entrance, they decided to leave it here to save some effort." "That's reasonable, isn't it?" The door opened, revealing Electronic holding a huge bag behind him. I really don't know what the size of the cake will be, but that was obviously too much sugar. "Well, thanks, but I don't need it all." "But where would we put it?" Electronic gave me a surprised look. "We don't have a place for it." "You asked for sugar, so take it." It seemed that the previous smile of his wasn't there without reason. "Maybe you'll help me then? It's not that far to carry." "We're busy." He pointed his hand on the robot. I gazed at Sherrick. He owed me after all. He hesitated and then looked away in shame. I sighed, took the bag, headed to the door. "Thanks anyway," I said at parting, exerting myself. But I didn't make it too far. Just after a mere 20 meters, I had to put the bag down to have a rest. I had no idea how much it weighed, but it felt like more than 20 kilos. On the one hand, it was just 200 meters to the canteen. On the other hand, even such a distance with payload on my shoulder, or alternately in my hands or on my legs or under my arm or even on my head, looked impossible for me to cover. And as I resigned myself to move in minor sprints, the prologue paused between them, so I could get there by night at least. I heard a voice behind me. "Maybe I could help you." I saw Lena in front of me. "I don't think you can." It was one of the moments when I felt painfully how dramatically I was out of shape. "I can bring a handcart." "A handcart? Why didn't I think that myself? Yes, that would be great." "Wait here, I'll be right back." Lena's very calm, so I'm trying to do a calm voice for her. She smiled and ran in the direction of the square. What would I do without her? "Don't say that! You need to be with Slavia!" It's a good thing that Lena isn't always that shy and can take the initiative sometimes. I started to think. She seemed quite unusual now, with no trace of shyness on her face. Actually the complete opposite, smiles and confidence. The offer of help wasn't something extraordinary but getting it from Lena. Whew. A few minutes later, she came back with a smallish handcart. I put the bag down on it. "Thanks." "Don't mention it." She blushed and looked down. "Oh, the Lena we all know is back." "So I'll go then." "Yes, see you. And thank you again," I shouted after her. Sometimes I felt like there are two different people living inside of Lena, but the second one, confident, happy, and sometimes even bold, only appears when she talks to me. Or am I making things up again? I thought that it would be better if I get all the ingredients at once, so I headed to AFHGaming's cabin with the handcart. Infirmary. Let's just do it in order. I feel like I've visited the infirmary too often recently, but what can I do? That's how things pan out. I sat and knocked on the door. "Come in," the nurse said with a trace of sing-song accent. "Good afternoon. AFHGaming has sent me to get some..." I hesitate slightly. "Yeast." "Ah, sure." She gave me a broad smile. "It's just that I don't have any." "Pioneer? How so?" She said that. Well, I had some, but now there's none left." I didn't even bother asking why she had it in the first place. "Well, don't worry. You can have some aspirin, for example." That could be some use to me, actually. Where do I get it then?" I sighed. "Take this." She opened the drawer and pulled out some kind of a bottle. I took a closer look. AFHGaming was a well-known brand of cheap beer. What? It was AFHGaming beer. I don't know how to pronounce it. "What's the matter?" "Beer is also a fermented product." She gave me a deep gaze. "Nobody will even notice." She had a point. But everything just looked so grotesque to me that I couldn't find anything to say. "Are you sure?" Absolutely. Okay then. The bottle clearly wouldn't fit into my pocket of my shorts. Well, thanks. I mumbled shyly, leaving the infirmary. Well, that wasn't a successful thing. Well, beer certainly could replace yeast. Even my limited knowledge of chemistry and biology was enough to accept this, but generally walking around with this bottle in my hands looked like a silly idea to me, so I decided to bring it to Olga Matrina's cabin and hide it there. But I had to reach it somehow without anybody noticing the beer. I hid the bottle under my shirt. Well done! Oh, great. Now it's... And everything would have been fine, but Slavia called out to me in the square. Actually, she sprang out from behind me so suddenly that I even gave a start. How's it going? What exactly? Your search for ingredients. Ah, so you know already. Yes, I do. Slavia smiled. It's going alright. I answered, trying not to give away my unrest. And what do you have there? She pointed at the bottle sticking out from under my shirt. This... she got me. It's nothing. I blushed with a silly giggle. It's time to go. Oh, thank God. I was almost running, leaving the square with the puzzled Slavia behind me. It's great that she is one of those who don't ask unnecessary questions, but there are people in this camp who like nothing better than to poke their nose into other people's business. Passing the pioneers' cabins, I stumbled upon Oliana. Great. What are you hiding there? She gave me one of her cheeky looks. I thought there was no point in denying anything, so I replied in a provocative manner. It's none of your business. I'm a superior officer bearing a message to headquarters. That's a certainly big message. I was carrying the bottle at waist height, so I was slightly embarrassed. You want some help? I'll deal with it on my own. I walked past her confidently and proceeded in my way. To my surprise, she didn't say anything, nor try to pursue me. There was nobody at Olga Dmitrievna's cabin, so I successfully managed to stuff the bottle under my bed. Once I got outside, I sighed with relief. Really, I couldn't believe that I would ever worry that much about a single bottle of beer, like I was back in high school. It's a good thing it's safe now. Even if somebody finds it, I'll claim that it's not mine. I could always think of a suitable excuse for my enormous experience. Right next is the library. If every other place on the cake ingredient list made at least some sense to me, then flour from the library made none. I thought hard about who would put in the library and why, but couldn't find any sane explanation after all. Given Xenia's harsh nature, I'd better knock first. Open! Xenia peered at me closely from behind her glasses. What do you want? Don't think anything weird, but I didn't want to look like an idiot and decided to explain things carefully. I need some flour. Olga Dmitrievna said that it's here. I understand that it sounds strange to keep the flour in the library, but I was sent to you, and it's needed for a cake to celebrate Shirk's rescue. Yes, I have flour. What's so strange about it? Xenia replied with surprise. And at that second, I felt like I'd been hit on the head with a heavy weight and lost the ability to understand anything at all. Flour in the library? Sure, what's so strange about it? We're in Wonderland, I'm Alice! Now I'm gonna eat the magic mushroom and I'll be back home. Oh my god, this is so funny. Hey! Yeah! I was daydreaming. Wait here, I'll be right back. She disappeared behind the bookshelves while I folded my hands and started waiting. A moment later, the sound of a trapdoor groaning on its hinges reached me. Hey, you need some help? I inquired loudly. I'll deal with it! Xenia barked at me. She seems to be in the basement, so I'll have to wait a little. What? She seems to be in the That doesn't make any sense. How is Xenia talking and she's saying she's... Never mind. Okie dokie. A few minutes passed, but Xenia still hadn't returned. I was starting to get worried when the door was suddenly flung open and Elisa came to the library. Uh-oh. Oh my god. She looked surprised too, seeing me here. What are you doing here? Am I not allowed to be here? I said rudely to her. Elisa was clearly a bit overwhelmed. Why do I care? She snorted and headed to Xenia's table. And why are you here then? Elisa measured me with her eyes carefully and almost opened the mouth to say something, but then seemed to change her mind and turned away, hiding her hands behind her back. Returning a book? I blurted the first thing on top of my head. None of your business! She replied with a hint of hesitation. What book is it? Elisa was silent. Oh, come on, let me see it. I wonder what Miss High Voltage Keep Away reads. It's none of your business! Her voice was even less confident. Okay, I don't insist or anything. In fact, I was quite interested to find out what Elisa was reading, sorry. Moreover, I was quite amused to see a book in her hand. TV, movies, or a computer, if one were available here, all these things seemed to be much more important entertainment for a girl like her. But she had a book instead. Uh-oh. Try to snatch or stay on guard? I don't want to be rude to her. If I snatch it, there's going to be huge problems, so I'll just stay on my guard and do nothing. Curiously killed the cat. Anyway, it's Elisa, and that means it could quickly turn into a total mess. Plus, I still didn't have the ingredients to collect. Well, I'll come later. Elisa left the library quickly without looking at me. It got me thinking. What could this book could be about if she was so ashamed of it? And ashamed Elisa is something extraordinary by itself. But Elisa ashamed that doesn't make any sense! Hold on. And ashamed Elisa is something extraordinary by itself, but Elisa ashamed about a book? Okay, that makes sense now. But what's the point in guessing now? There's no way to find anything out. Finally, Xenia, deep groan rang out, reaching each and every corner of the library. Grab it! I passed by the bookshelves and beheld the perspiring librarian sitting near the trapdoor leading into the basement with a small sack next to her. Well, they might have some sort of storehouse down there. Thanks! I took the sack and left the library. Finally. Thank goodness it wasn't too heavy, so I carried it down to Olga Dmitrievna's cabin without too much effort. Finally, it seemed that everything had been collected. I took the handcart with sugar outside and put the sack with the flour in it, followed by 2 baskets of strawberries, then somehow fit it in between. And the beer was hidden under my shirt just in case. The day was coming to its end, so I had to hurry, as the cake itself will need some time to bake. Of course, I'd rather enjoy lying down, closing my eyes and getting a decent sleep, but I just couldn't let Olga Dmitrievna down. Indeed, after all the trouble I'd gone to, I even felt personally responsible for the success of this event. Coming to the square, I stopped for a moment to catch my breath. It wasn't that the cart was heavy, it ran smoothly without any noticeable effort required. It was just that any physical exertion, am I saying it correctly? I don't know. Caused pain to me now. Both a physical and mental one. I sat down on the bench and closed my eyes for a moment. What's that? I didn't really give a damn who it was. Probably just a fellow pioneer girl taking an interest in an unfamiliar companion in districts. What are you talking about? I asked her tiredly. She didn't reply. Those are the ingredients for the cake. Do you like cakes? I don't know. What? You've never tried cake? I don't know. Obviously, the girl didn't get what I was talking about, but it didn't surprise me at that moment. I really wasn't interested in the conversation. I was so tired that I had zero intention of classifying external distractions and tagging them as either common or uncommon. I see. Come down to the canteen later and have a bite. Really? Really. And what are they made of? What? I asked indifferently. These cakes. Well, some flour, some sugar, various fillings. Now that's a strange question. Doesn't she know what cake are made of? And you have it all here? Yeah, sort of. And sugar? And sugar. Could you lend me a little? What for? I thought it was over the top. Who would need sugar? A sudden gust of wind made me grab the cart instantly and open my eyes. However, nobody was there. Am I daydreaming? I noticed, though, that the sugar sack was untied and a small heap of it poured out. Could it be that she was scared by the wind and ran away? Having fixed the sack, I got up the bench and continued on my challenging strawberry way. There wasn't a single person near the canteen. No wonder dinner was still an hour away. I brought the handcart to the rear exit and handed the foodstuff to the camp cook. She must have already been told what to do with them, as she gave me such an unpleasant look. I'm not sure how long it takes to bake a cake, but it seems she had to hurry. I just wanted to relax for the remaining time up until dinner. In short, I was so tired that I just sat on the steps and waited. My eyes closed themselves. I guess I got so tired throughout the day that I didn't even notice how someone came up to me until they patted me on the shoulder. Oh, it's Miku. Hi! Miku was standing before me. Yeah, I didn't need a mirror to imagine the expression I don't know how to skepticism and annoyance on my face. Oh, excuse me, I must have interrupted you. No problem, I was just sitting here. Ah, alright then. Miku beamed with a smile. I was just coming to dinner. I thought that it's time already, and then it appeared to me that it's too early, but I decided to check in just in case. Maybe it's not me who's mistaken, but the clock is. Well, not the clock. Clocks can't be mistaken. It's just that I misread it. She seemed to be unlimitedly confused. Now I fell silent. It's still about half an hour before dinner. Oh, that's great. Then I'll sit here and wait with you if you don't mind. Frankly speaking, I do mind. You know, I have some matters to attend to. Oh god, you're so rude. I stood up quickly and left without saying goodbye, ignoring Miku as I always did while she screamed something after me. A minute later, I got to the square and sat on the bench with the firm intention of finding a quiet and safe place here to wait for dinner. I think this is the first time in the last four and a half days when I've felt like this. I wasn't just irritated because of some insignificant details, but indeed I was really angry. I've completely stopped caring about where I am and why I am here. Oh my god, this is so much reading. But anyways, I'm just gonna stop here because I'm kind of tired. My mouth is really hurting right now. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you did enjoy it and subscribe to join the AFH Army. And I'll see you all in my next video. Adios!